those two things exactly on time.
I did all of the U.S. net market analysis. I did fundraising. Initial company was set up in the United States.
But she was fantastic. Where is she now? She's up near the library. So it's a fantastic place to be.
Which is where all of the and wheelchair riders, it's in balance. So let me know when you go to England in June. I will let my mutual friend, Sir Alan Harris. You met Alan Harris.
So it's perfectly legal.
I'm impressed.
Congratulations, Joyce.
This is the Joyce
Happy birthday.
Learning Center.
So we're talking about stuff today. I went to lunch the other day with Simon, and she found this new place which was reviewed in the Times on Friday. Bistro opened by the people who run Danielle. It is where Lexington Avenue in 73.
Accused him of being a pedophile, called up the Durst organization, said that, and then in the ladies' room, she was screaming at the top of her lungs, there was someone in the ladies' room, and the people in the law firm next door were afraid to use the ladies' room.
Jack Phil does a good job over there. I like to try to do more to support him because movie disorder. He's in our Rotary Club too. In fact, he was the president of our Rotary Club last year.
They have a kid on Leonard.
That's these people, right? Yeah, I think it's something like that. Very
Yes, isn't it? It's a great
It's the right time of year. Thank you. I got to say happy birthday.
Number one, I want to make sure you actually go through the education center.
Yeah.
Get a sense of all
Thank you very much. I'm so pleased that you came.
You just got back from Greenwood. Yes, please walk inside to get a sense of what we do here at Greene.
It is. It's glorious. Thank you so much. And
I've never been to this point.
well, you have to come and see really what it's all about. See my grandchildren.
Oh no. Who is here from the parents?
I have 8 children and 8 grandchildren out of 12 and 25. But those are not the linear ones. No, those are not. No, Amy is here. He's there. He's right inside it. She's wearing a green
kind of approach. Very nice.
That's a nice. That's really a very nice presentation.
This is celebrating Sally's wedding. It's wonderful. Oh, there she is on her beloved boats.
That's in Boston Whaler.
It's on the scout.
It's also fiberglass. Plastic isn't fiberglass. There's even the fiberglass sheets.
Really?
Call it Greene House. And then
docents and junior docents, I'm very happy to welcome you to a special occasion in honor of a very special individual, Joyce Greene. It is indeed appropriate. It is indeed appropriate that we gather here just outside the museum's education building, shortly to be officially renamed the Joyce Greene Education Center, as this facility truly embodies the reason why Joyce has made a long-term commitment to this institution. Simply put, it is her belief and ours that education is of paramount importance in the development of our young children, and that it is one of the primary responsibilities of our society to provide as many learning opportunities as possible. Joyce's involvement with the museum extends over 17 years, and during that time she has assumed the role of trustee, chairperson, donor, volunteer, advocate, and leader. A very impressive resume to date, and one to which was recently added yet another highlight in the form of a $100,000 donation by Joyce and Leonard to the Glenview campaign in support of developing and researching new strategic and interpretive and educational programs which will be introduced in the Glenview Mansion once its restoration is completed in 1998. I'm going to ask another round of applause. In some campaigns, $100,000 might get you on the donor plaque. You might get a phone call of gratitude from the director, but here at the Hudson River Museum, a donation of that size is cause for fireworks and celebratory cheers. And Joyce, I'm still working on the fireworks, but I really want to give a robust and hearty round of applause in honor of Joyce Greene. On a personal note, during my 7 years as director, Joyce has become my good friend and supporter. She's become a voice of experience and of wisdom, and she's also an individual who challenges me and the staff to create something new and different and better. It's the kind of challenge we all thrive on here at the museum, and because of it, we are very much a better museum. So Joyce, please accept my warmest thanks and appreciation. In closing, as we bid farewell to the last full day of summer on this spectacular Sunday, and of course we would have nothing less for Joyce, but a spectacular weather day, we look forward to a very exciting 1997-98 season and to a very bright future, thanks to the generosity of Joyce and Leonard, and to the generosity of hundreds of individual donors, as well as corporations, foundations, arts agencies, and our two great benefactors, the County of Westchester and the City of Yonkers. Without all of this support, the museum would be unable to provide its first-rate and distinctive educational programs in the fields of art, history, and science to tens of thousands of children each and every year. I ask that each of you today personally thank and congratulate Joyce and Leonard, and I also ask that you consider joining our family if you're presently not participating in what we do here. If you share the same dreams and visions of Joyce Greene, I ask that you become part of the Joyce Greene Education Center, that you become part of the Hudson River Museum. Thank you, and now allow me to introduce the museum's Vice Chair, Logan Delaney.
It's a special pleasure to be here this afternoon. It's such a beautiful afternoon. And I was out at the golf course this afternoon. And here. And, oh, I'm sorry. One of my golf buddies over there said he couldn't hear me. I was out at the golf course this afternoon, and I didn't get a chance to play golf on this beautiful day. Now, there are not very many things that I would do on a beautiful day like this to interrupt an afternoon of Sunday golf. But this is one of them. There's something so special about Joyce Greene. She's been on the board ever since I've been on the board, which has been about 9 years now. She was the chairman when I came on the board, but she was more than the chairman, or I guess I should say the chairperson. She was a real inspiration for this museum. She was a common thread that held this institution together through some very tough times. Joyce, we talk about a large gift that she and Leonard made to this institution. But the real gift that Joyce has made is her time and inspiration to this institution. And Joyce, I want to thank you on behalf of the trustees for the time and wisdom and inspiration that you've given this institution. I could go on a very long time, but I won't. I will spare you that. But I'd like to introduce you to Matt Lifflander, who is the chairman of the Board of Trustees. Another very dedicated person, a dedicated volunteer in this institution, and there are many volunteers. Philip asked that people who are here might consider joining the institution, and there's a lot that you can do. We're looking for volunteers for a whole lot of things. So if anybody's interested in volunteering, in addition to making donations and other things, you should see us as well. But without much ado, let me introduce you to Matt Lifflander, our chairman of the Board of Trustees.
The worst thing about being third on the program is that all these other guys take your stuff and use it, and then they raise the microphone higher than you can reach it. So I'll
try not to be redundant. First of all, it's my honor to point out the fact that we have on this podium 4 elegant folders with great seals on them. The first comes from the mayor of the city of Yonkers, who has provided his citation to Joyce Greene. I won't read it because they already used the material in there. The second from the House of Representatives, they have the biggest seal. Joyce, I'm going to turn these over to you. Can I have the folders?
Get your own.
Nita Lowey, our congresswoman, has sent a very eloquent citation. And this plain vanilla one is from the New York State Assembly. Our friend Richard Brodsky, who is the longest of the citations. And he said everything that everybody is going to say. And our great Senator Nick Spano, who was here earlier, and who has been a great pal and supporter of the museum, he sent his bound in red. It's very unusual for Republicans to do that. It shows you the Cold War is over. So we have red, white, and blue all together. They're beautiful. I'm sure they're going to be elegantly framed in the new Greene mansion. Seriously speaking, what Joyce has done for us has been the greatest single gift that this institution has ever received. But you all think I'm referring to the $100,000 contribution that the Greenes made to dedicate this Joyce Greene Education Center, which we're about to unveil. But that's not the greatest single gift. The greatest single gift is Joyce Greene and her involvement with us, and how lucky we are as an institution. Joyce inspired me when I came on this board, provided a sense of vision, a sense of direction and leadership that was sorely needed through good times and bad, and we are really grateful for the fact that we have such a person. A lot of you know Joyce in her capacity as the chair of this museum and as a director of the museum and an active supporter. But many of you may not be aware that she is what I learned from the dean of the law school at Cornell. The person to look for is the broad gauge person. Joyce is all kinds of things in this world. Her activity here is only a small part of it's a big part, it's an important part, but it is just a part of her broad dimensions. Many of you may not know that she is a qualified airplane pilot, that she runs a business, that she's a scientist by training. She's a mother of many, and a wife, and a homemaker. And she does all of these things so well. And we are just very, very lucky and grateful, Joyce, that we've had your attention for all these years, and we hope to keep your attention. We hope that you don't think that by doing this you can just walk off into the sunset. I know you won't. There are times when I wish you would, but you know. The fact of the matter is, nobody cares about this institution as much as Joyce Greene. And all we hope and pray for is that we, with her help, with her guidance, will continue to develop other people who will care even half as much. That's what this is. That's what our work here is all about. We know that Joyce and Leonard could have taken that $100,000 and had a night in the Lincoln bedroom. They didn't even think of that. They didn't even think of that. They thought of the Hudson River Museum. So I'm delighted that my life has been enriched by the opportunity to work with Joyce, to be inspired by her, to be led by her, and it is my great, great pleasure to participate in this honor. And I would like Joyce to come up and But before we do, one of our friends who's here tonight, who I guess is my favorite fan of the Hudson River Museum, also a very broad-gauge man who has supported culture to the greatest capacity in this county for many, many years, who is himself an author and a delight and a great wit. And before we take the final step, I would like to ask our County Executive, Andy O'Rourke, to come up here and tell us.
Thank you, Matt. I have been referred to as many things. Broad gauge is one of the first times. I promise I'll go on a diet, I swear to God. To Joyce and Leonard, to Roberta Peters, to all of the people that make this happen, thank you for allowing me to say a few words. You know that if I haven't told you before, I'll tell you now that the smattering of Greek I had in my career convinced me that things that had "eum" on the end of it mean a place of, like lyceum, a place of song, and gymnasium, a place of, shall we say, athletes. And so a museum is a place for the spirit of the muse. And I think tonight, as this afternoon, as we talk about the Joyceum that is going to be here, we talk about the spirit of truly a great woman who has done so much for all of us. I have, of course, a proclamation from Westchester County, not one of these fake ones, a framed one. Does not have a triple bond rating for nothing. We can afford to frame them. And also to honor the great women and men that do so much for Westchester County. So it's a pleasure. Actually, I want you to know that here I am in political office. I'm not running for anything, and I couldn't miss this. Thank you. I'm always cautious when I say that. Does that mean, thank God he's not running? Thank you, Ed. But regardless of that, I would not have missed this night and a chance to thank Joyce Greene and Leonard for a tremendous amount of support they've given to the arts. And because of that, I want you to know, Joyce, that Westchester County, and Phil doesn't even know this, will, before the end of 1997, contract with the Hudson River Museum for $20,000 for an outreach education program in honor of this evening. And finally, it doesn't mean I'm through, I just think it helps everybody so much when you say that. The member of the Board of Legislators who's here is going to help me pay for that. And also present this proclamation. Kate Karski, if you come up here, and Joyce, come out over here. I'm not in. Wait. Grant Stewart Cousins from the Board of Legislators. That's even better. I have a Democrat and a Republican. The County of Westchester presents this proclamation to Joyce Greene for a tremendous amount of effort, sustained effort throughout the years for the advance of the arts, particularly the Hudson River Museum. And I am delighted as county executive to present this. And thank you, Joyce, and thank you and your family for a job well done. And I'm sure our legislators.
Joyce, this is really from all of the members of the Board of Legislators. You have been a fantastic advocate. We've seen Joyce's face many, many years of budget time in front of us, and she always made the case, and we always came through. You can't turn her down. Thank you.
As the county executive knows, I'm not always in agreement with him. But today, I think we can all agree that your benevolence, your generosity, your commitment to this fine institution is something that we will all cherish. We thank you. We hope more will step up to the plate, and the county is certainly committed to this museum. So thank you very much for your generosity.
Andy, does that mean you've got at least 2 votes for that contract?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. If he says don't worry about it, I don't worry about it.
Yeah, we worry.
I love the fact that Andy brought the only framed resolution. It's now my great pleasure and my high honor to turn over the microphone to our guest of honor, who I know has some very important words for you, and ask Joyce to say her piece. Thank you.
I really can't say very much because all my good friends have said so much of it, but I'm so pleased that Andy O'Rourke, who has been really the one who always said to me very quietly, keep going, it's going to work. That kind of encouragement is what kept me going. And for the legislators to come up and present these wonderful remarks after the many years when I would walk in the building in White Plains and they'd say, hey, that lady from the museum is here again. It's going to be a long night. But it's not going to be a long night because I understand that the best speeches are written on the back of an envelope. I had to take 2 envelopes, but that's all. It's going to be an envelope speech. Our distinguished guests have been acknowledged, I believe, except Richard Hallaby from the Yonkers. Where are you, Richard? I really want you to come and be